All right. That's another it's good to be back, man. It's been a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think it's been like what 2 weeks since the we had the South Africans.
Oh yeah, no, we did one after that. PJ
Oh,
was
we did. Oh yeah, PJ Black. Yeah.
that was gonna say I thought that was our last episode. Yeah, it's been a few. So yeah. Oh, it's been a few weeks since we've done a show.
I'm pretty sure Africa was our last episode.
Yeah. One of the
Definitely not PJ.
COVID times, man. Like everything just blends together. Like I again, it didn't feel like we had seasons, and like where I'm at, I almost sent you a picture the other of it yesterday. But so today, today's Thursday, so as Saturday, I played 9 holes of golf, beautiful out, and then on Tuesday, 2 inches of snow.
Holy moly! Yeah, we're in the 80s and 90s over here.
Yeah, no, we dropped down below 40 now. The next few weeks are going to be 30s, 40s. I think in the next few days we're going to get another 1 or 2, 3 inches of snow. So yeah, winter's here where I'm at. So we went from summer to barely fall, and now it begins, and this will go till February, March. I mean, shit, we've gotten snow in May here where I live.
That's so crazy. It's just, I guess it's just where you're located. And a lot of people, so does it normally get this cold this early, or is this kind of a freak thing? Or were you like kind of like, okay, this is about when it's about to start happening?
I mean, anything can happen with Minnesota weather. But yeah, this is a bit early. A few weeks early. The joke around the Midwest and like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and stuff like that is always, well, are the kids going to be trick or treating and it's all right out, or are the kids going to go trick or treating and they got to wear their winter coats and there's some snow out?
Don't forget to wear your mask
and your mask now. Well, now they're
6 feet, and do you even?
Well, up here they're not even saying that. Up here they're like, just don't trick or treat. No one go trick or treating.
What? They're banning trick or treating?
I mean, that's what they're saying. Tons of people are like, screw that. We still bought candy. Our light will be on. You can come to
I mean, now here's the thing. Literally, you could go buy a bag of candy with gloves on, put the bowl outside, open up the bag of candy, put it in the bowl, and just, if you want to see the kids, just like leave the door open or the screen indoor, and, just be like, hey, how's it going? And you're still at social distancing, and you're not touching the candy. You don't even have to physically even touch it if you open up the bag right and put it in the bowl right. But I guess it's, if little kids, multiple kids touching it, I guess I don't, so all I know is Florida, you can trick or treat. So.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, in theory, that's a good idea. And there are houses around here that do that, where they just put a bowl out and then whatever. If it was me, though, I'd always in the back of my mind, I'd be like, those greedy older kids that are going to come by and they're going to take the whole bowl of candy, especially if they know I'm not watching. So I'd be sitting there, like you said, watching with the glass door, but not to see the kids, just to wait for those older kids. But I'd be that boring adult. Like, I'd be bored with that. So like, I'd be trying to set the older kids up. Like, I'd be like hiding. So as soon as they start grabbing handfuls, I pop out and I'm like, I got you. One, put it back.
The last place I lived, we had a nice thing, and I sat out on the front porch, and it was fun watching all the kids come by. There was I lived in a really nice neighborhood, so there really was no like older kids. It was all of his family. Yeah. And by the time the older kids came out, I ran out of candy anyways. And my neighbors were such good neighbors. They came and like refilled the bowl for me because I was like over it and went back inside. I think I went out or something. Like I went and hung out for a little bit and, wait till the sun went down, gave out some candy. And then I went to like a party or something. But I remember coming back and there's different candy in the bowl. And then my neighbors were like, oh, we refilled your bowl. It ran out.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Are you a Halloween guy? Like, are you in, like, dude, there's some people.
Guy.
Like, I know some people who like live for Halloween as the holiday. Like, they count down Can't wait.
When it comes to holidays, I don't like any of them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I just don't care.
I think if I do like any of them, and this is gonna sound awful, I kind of enjoy like the 4th of July or like
That's my favorite one, only because of fireworks and like normally you're at like a beach or a lake or a barbecue and you're outside.
And it's
That's
usually
probably
like
my favorite one.
And it's usually like a mix of friends and family.
Yeah.
Or like holidays are just straight family. And some people love that. I don't hate it. I like it. I really do. But with every family, there's always drama that at some point during the day, you're like, is this done yet? Is it time to but I mean, so I've never been a big holiday guy, but man, I know some people who like they literally, it's like Halloween is everything to them. And I never got it. See, now I was a DJ for many years in town. I worked at one location at a bar, and so for like 8 years, I had to do Halloween.
That's the one the bars is busy nights.
Yeah, man.
And the night before Thanksgiving.
Oh, dude, the night before Thanksgiving, New Year's, and where I worked, it was an Irish saloon because the family owned it. It's Irish. So St. Patty's Day was actually our biggest day of the year.
Yeah.
But those ones were right there with it. And I mean, dude, like as soon as I stopped working at the bars, I was done with Halloween. Like people would be like, well, you don't work anymore, so let's go. You can come with us and party. And I'm like, I don't even care. I just want nothing to do with it. Like I'm staying home. I don't want to be around the crowds. I don't want to dress up. I don't want to get drunk and be that asshole. Like I had to deal with it for 8 years. Like I'm cool, man. Like now it's like people are like, yo, we're going to have a Halloween party or we're going to go to the bars. It's like, cool. Peace out.
Yeah, I don't mind going to a house party, but I don't really want to go downtown.
I'm at the point now though where I don't even like dressing up. Like
I don't dress up. I mean, I'll wear like a stupid little mask or something, but that's about it. Pull it off. Yeah, for me, like you know what? I'll dress up with my girl if that's really something she wants to do. But other than that, I'm pretty much not going to do anything. And she's actually going to New Orleans for Halloween. I'm actually going to stay back, so I won't be out.
Or New Orleans, it's such a great city to party in, but then it also just smells like piss and shit when you're on Bourbon Street. It's funny. It's so funny. Yeah. Speaking of Halloween, one wrestling thing involving Halloween is they're bringing Halloween Havoc back this year. NXT is. So that's kind of
that's weird that NXT is doing it and not AEW because that's something that Dusty kind of created.
Right. They own it. That's why they own the rights. And there's some people who are really upset. They're like, it should be AEW doing this, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm a wrestling fan. So the fact that someone's doing Halloween Havoc, I'm all for it. Cool.
So, but I mean, to be honest with you, is there some different type of rules to it? Or is it just another pay-per-view?
It's like a Halloween themed pay-per-view. Like WCW is.
Okay, it's a Halloween themed pay-per-view. So explain to me. Like, are they going to have masks on? Are they going to dress up in costumes? What does this
probably? My guess.
What is selling me on this other than that the background might be spooky?
Yeah. Here's the two things that they've brought, I think, back for this so far that I've heard.
Bray has a match.
Well, not brought back. Well, no. So again, this is NXT. So. Yeah, this isn't even going to be the main roster. See, that's the one thing like with Vince is it's like, yeah, I'll bring the WCW or the WCW stuff back, but they're not going to be as big as my pay-per-views. So the NXT gets to do. That's why NXT's done Starrcade, War Games, now Halloween Havoc. I think they did the Great American, or was it Great American Bash that maybe used to be WCW?
Wrong person.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so the two things is they brought the wheel of something back, like it's a wheel, it spins. I think they spin it for.
I hated that thing. That like everyone knew that was so rigged. Why? I hated the wheel. That's the most stupidest thing you can do.
So they brought that back for Halloween Havoc, and they have a host. They have a host, one of their own.
Oh, host, not a ghost. You said a host, not a ghost.
Not a ghost, a host. She may dress up like a ghost while she does it. And it's funny because this is actually somebody we were talking about before we went on air. I wish they'd bring Renee back, but good for her for wanting to do her own thing. No, so
The ghostest with the mostest.
Shotzi Blackheart will be hosting Halloween Havoc.
Ooh, the girl that sold her a picture of her poop.
Yes. I did not know about this story. This is why we were talking about this earlier. Because
story we're about to talk about.
Yeah. So back in 2019, I think it was
There's
like
a lot of flies involved.
it was like January, February, I guess. She sold pictures of her poop for $5. $5. That was it. 5 bones. You can have
that. Think she should have got more for the Mr. Hanky photo? Is that the first spotting of the real Mr. Hanky?
Yeah, right. The Halloween hanky.
No, it wasn't during Halloween. I believe.
No, I suppose you're right. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, then no, $5 was probably good because I don't like this is like either right when she signed with WWE or before or after.
We're already getting comments left and right about the poo.
So
she ate corn that night.
So I don't think she was probably like a bit because right now she's blown up. In the last like 2 months, she's blown up for NXT. She's become a bigger name for them. So like now she could probably charge like $20 for a shot of poo. We're there at $5 was probably all right. And apparently there was a confirmed like you can see on her account like someone.
There was a confirmed poo buyer, and I believe the poo buyer, his comments were, "I'm doing it to support you."
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is you can still send her $5, but and not receive the picture. But he still received the picture of the poo.
Yeah, he also said that he's not a weirdo. And what was funny is Shotzi's response was, "Hey man, no judgment. You're into what you're into. Enjoy." Like,
I think she calls it her toilet brigade or something.
Yeah, it's toilet something. You're right. It's creative. It's a creative way to make money, and I mean,
Vince is going to own her turds from now on because of the new bylaws and contracts. So Vince owns her poop.
Coming to WWE Shop tonight. It's dropping.
WWEshop.com.
You can buy pictures of your favorite superstars.
Poo.
Oh man,
see what they ate.
And someone would do it though. Like obviously, someone did it for Shotzi, but I mean, you got to think that came up because a fan was like, "Hey, I know this is weird, but a picture of your poo if I send you money." I mean, it had to. I mean, this is
socks. People buy all kinds of stuff. It doesn't.
Have you been approached by a fan for anything weird like this?
I've had a mail guy buy my trunks.
What do you mean by mail guy? Like the mail? Like he was dropping your mail off and realized
I was at a fan fest and the guy wanted to buy my ring gear.
Really?
I mean, I guess that's not too weird.
Not now. I mean, maybe depending when it happened, but actually, no, I don't think that one's too weird
either.
That's
that one too. I don't really put myself in that type of situation where someone's gonna ask me that because they probably would know that I'd probably knock them out.
Well, now it's gonna happen. So now that we're doing the podcast, eventually someone's gonna be like, "Hey, man, can I buy that used tissue I see you use? Let me just send it to me, man." Like
see me use. So he was watching me poo. How does he know where that tissue has been?
Right. Oh, that's so.
Oh, Big Ace, that's not gonna happen.
Some people are into some weird stuff. That's just.
I mean, to each their own. I mean, whatever you're into, I don't. No harm, no foul, as long as it doesn't involve me.
Yeah. That's so funny though. Poop. Who wants? Like, I just don't understand what that guy did with that photo after that. I mean, I have some idea.
I know you know exactly what he did after that photo.
I guess I just don't get it.
Sphincter vision.
It's like the R. Kelly stuff. It's like, why do you enjoy peeing on people?
It's not just R. Kelly. It was that new R&B rapper is known for it now. Oh man, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to make sure it's right. But there's a rapper right now that's known for peeing on people. I can look it up right now. Let's see, new rapper peeing on people. Let's put that on.
I just don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
It's
Yeah, it's some of them, some rappers are just kind of weird.
Is it like a power move? Is that what it is? Like,
Trey Songz.
really? Trey Songz isn't the peeing on chicks.
There's been multiple girls that have came forward saying that's his stigma, like that's his thing that he likes.
Trey Songz,
Trey
you know,
Songz.
dude. Gross.
Big shout out to Trey Songz. You like peeing on people? Hey, each your own.
What's up, man? Shout out to you and your human urinals. That's so
Hey,
messed.
as long as you're not disrespecting the women, I mean, I guess if that's what you're into.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's disgusting and immoral and absolutely just guys should get slapped in the face. But you know what? I don't know these girls.
No. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and if any female asked me that, I'd be like, "What?"
If any female asked me that, first of all, I'll say I'm happy and loved with a girl that does not want anything to do with something like that.
Oh, that's just it's weird stuff, man. People
Well,
were
probably move off that subject.
yeah, we can leave the toilet segment of the show now.
Well, we should introduce the two.
Right? Dude.
Matt made it heaven right there.
They should hang out. Trey Songz.
Go to OnlyFans with this type of content. Vince will own that.
Oh, dude, Vince. I mean, yeah, anything she's gonna do nowadays, he's getting a cut. And which is interesting because I don't think we actually have had a conversation on the show since that happened. Like when he's actually came out and said you have like a week to shut everything down and give us the passwords. I've seen some still doing it, so I mean, obviously, some people were okay with the cut.
Are they sort doing it and just going to wait to
or did they?
And then when they get sued, they're just countersued.
I don't know, man. It's real interesting times because now too you're seeing some shots being fired between the two companies. Because I know a certain AEW star came out and made a comment about how they run business and their last year of business when WWE was taking recognition for some business award they got this year. And that was kind of interesting. Yeah, we can get into it.
Yeah, tell me.
So I don't know if it was WWE or Stephanie got an award for some sort of business, and Jake Hagar tweeted out and basically called them out for saying like, "Oh yeah, you guys were like one of the #1 businesses and got this award for the last year yet." You guys, he goes into it and basically was like, you guys did this, you cut this, you did this just so you can get rid of this many people in a pandemic and put them out of work and all that. So he kind of called them out. And I mean, the thing with the two companies too is you're just seeing way and hearing way more about ratings. Like they're acknowledging it more now. You're hearing more talk about it online. So it's just weird.
I mean, they should really not worry. They should worry about putting up the best content out there. They really shouldn't be worried about bickering against each other right now. They should be worried about storylines. They should be worried about creating superstars. They should be not worried about this teenager bull crap that's going along on the internet.
So let me ask you this then. There's some rumors of going around that AEW and New Japan might actually start collaborating a little bit.
But see, here's the thing is you say that, but I just watched the recent ROH stuff and they had New Japan at ROH.
Well, yeah, and I think the ultimate goal would be that AEW would work with ROH too, because they have worked with some of those talents. That was kind of the idea I think a lot of people had when Marty became their lead booker, that eventually he would bridge the gap for ROH, New Japan, and AEW to all be able to work together. Obviously, things didn't go that way, but New Japan had some presence on the last few Dynamites as far as they used actual highlights from New Japan, like their content. They had during the 30 years of Jericho, one of the guys on, and I don't remember who it was, one of the New Japan wrestlers was on there giving a shout out to Jericho. So there's a lot of talk of these two might actually start working together. So first of all, just how do you feel about seeing cross promotion like that? You a fan of that stuff?
No, because I feel like they should build their talent and build having New Japan wrestlers in the US is not going to, the average fan is not just going to tune in and like go, oh my God, New Japan. They have no idea. Right now, AEW's fan base is hardcore people that know about them. So right now, they need to appeal to a wider audience. So they need to work on building their superstars, maybe getting their superstars some commercial deals, maybe getting their superstars maybe on some cameos or some morning shows, or just trying to just get out there and use that money and to putting it into the company, investing in PR, and trying to get a new fan base, a new demographic of crowd to come and watch wrestling. That's just my opinion. You know, I always love seeing the New Japan guys coming, and yeah, you know, that is cool. But when you look at the grand scheme of the whole thing, is if I was going to use that money and try to use some type of promotion skills, I would do it here in the U.S. with morning shows, with trying to work with maybe just other shows, just to bring a different audience that's going to here in the United States that has TNT that can actually watch the program and, you know, get that ratings that they want to watch. You know, that's something that I feel like that's something they should focus on. That's my opinion, and that they should work on building the stars that they have and not just bringing these Japan guys and then squashing some of their AEW guys. And then it's like, hey, what? Just for me, you should just focus on you guys. And once they get a little bit more of their superstars over and a little bit more of their superstars with their household names, then I would say bring the New Japan guys in.
Yeah, you know what I've always wanted to see when it comes to like cross promoting for promotions on in professional wrestling. I don't need to see it happen regularly or like every few months it happens. Just give me one show, one show a year, one pay-per-view a year, where you bring them all together. You give them maybe a month or two to do the build up for it, where they can start talking about it. Otherwise, the rest of the time it's just their shit. But yeah, one pay-per-view a year, cross and make a big deal out of it. Like this is the, you know, and you see it happening. Like there was the indie show a few weekends ago where that brought a few different independents together.
Yeah, how did that turn out?
Well, it turned out in a COVID outbreak, so
yeah, so it didn't really turn out the best of.
But I mean, on a high level, you know what I mean? Like seeing,
coronavirus in a high level.
Well, no, you know what I mean though. Like,
seeing, there was a lot of people there.
You know what the funny thing is though, they did social distance, they had masks on. It's just people went who had it who shouldn't have went. You know, it's crazy. I've heard stories with people in my own life that it's been like, oh yeah, I had to get tested because someone was around me because they knew they had it and still came by me even though they knew.
Why are people so stupid? Why can't people just stay home if they're sick? Or they I don't understand this. Like, I really don't.
It's not hard. I mean, you don't feel good, stay home.
Exactly.
It's just not, it's not, again, even if you're like, well, it's not going to hurt me, but you don't know who's there. There could be some 80-year-old person there at that show that's near you.
Yeah, there's someone that's, you know, has diabetes or someone that's dealing with, you know, you just don't know. It's not putting other people's life in danger.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I guess that's the protocols of that state, and that's cool. But then, you know, you hear a lot about these guys that were there, and a lot of these guys, you know, have TV contracts and stuff like that. And you look and you go, man, was it really worth me getting put in that situation where now I'm not going to be able to be on TV? And back in my day, when I was in TNA, they allowed us to do indies. But they sat down with us and they had a big, long discussion on how we're going to approach you guys wrestling indies. And when we had that sit down and talk, a lot of it was make sure you don't put yourself in a bad position, make sure you're going over, make sure you're working with someone that's not going to hurt you. Because here's the thing is, we all want to go out there and steal the show, but once you're over and once you're on TV, and let's say you have 1 week off and they let you so happen to work an indie show, You go out and work that show in the safest possible way, because if you get hurt, you're about to lose your bread and butter going to TV. You're not going to be able to perform at TV. And then what are you going to tell the bosses? Oh, I worked some independent show. And then they're going to look at you and go, are you stupid? What were you thinking? You're on TV. We signed you. You get a paycheck every week. And now you just kind of blew the opportunity and kind of just put us in a hard spot, because now what we're going to do, especially if you're in a storyline, who knows? And when I was in TNA, I really, really was picky on the indie shows I was on. I would work indie shows that I knew the promoter, I could tell them my situation, and I said, hey, if you put me with the best guy, hey, we're not going to do much. It's all going to be facial. It's all going to be gimmick wrestling. We're going to put a great story on. We're going to do a hell of a match, but we're not going to do crazy dives. No one's going to get hurt, because guess what? I got a 4-week TV loop. Then I got to go to London, and then we got a whole UK another 2 weeks, and then I got to fly home for a week. So, I'm doing this for you guys kind of as a favor. It's not really worth it to me to get hurt. And, you kind of talk to the promoters like that. Everyone's different. Some guys just want to go out there and kill themselves and don't care. And then they end up getting hurt, and then they don't show up to TV. And TV is the most important thing in the world, because that's where you can reach the most people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, any professional sport you see, those guys aren't doing anything that's not under the team facilities. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to go play a full-on tackle football game with their buddies on a Monday.
They're not going to go do MMA practice.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not. Hey, I'm going to go to the gym and spar in the ring today just to get a workout. They're not going to do that in the season. You know what I mean? Or even in the off season. So
they do.
Some guys don't. Some guys just work out. They don't want to risk it. But like, it's always been a thing for me that I always wondered, because it's like, I get WWE and they just don't do it. Fair enough. Especially when things are normal. As a WWE superstar, you're still wrestling like 3 to 4 times a week, anyways, because you got TV.
Well, 3 to 4, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
and that's a new city. That's not the same. That's getting in the car after the show, driving 4 to 6 hours to the next city, getting and checking in a hotel, waking up in the morning, going to the gym, showing up the building at 12, doing the whole thing, getting out at 11, driving to the next city.
Yeah. It's road life, man. And so, it makes sense why they're like, hey, you wouldn't want to anyways, but they don't let their talent do it. And it's different now, because it's getting like we're talking like indie shows. I know WWE's like, well, they're taking all their income away and taking their streams away. We're not talking about that. We're talking just working indie shows.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, so I always thought it was weird. Like, I get like right now, like an ROH or Impact, because they're not big money deals. So I guess I could see maybe some of those guys maybe doing appearances, but like, even then it's like, why would you risk going and getting hurt in a show with a guy who's up, training? He's not, you know what I mean? He's just breaking on the indie scene. He's a newcomer, and you're putting
we can break it like this. Like, when I was on the WGN network for Ring Warriors.
Yeah.
I was getting paid $1,000 a week. I didn't go do them, and we were filming during the week, and they gave us opportunities to go and do other shows. I chose not to. I was like, I'd rather get that guaranteed $1,000 a week than go mess around the indie show for a couple $100.
Right.
You got to look at the smart thing. If I get hurt at one of these indie shows and I'm out for 3 or 4 weeks for a couple $100, that's $3,000 right there out of my pocket.
Right. Exactly. Especially given the circumstance that the whole world is in right now. Like, now it's not even just an injury. Now you're in perfect example of what happened at that GCW show, that weekend show, is you're putting your talent at risk of, if they go there, they catch the virus, they then have to go home and quarantine now for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You just took them off programming for 2 weeks now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, even now during these times, and I get AEW is a different thing as far as they're trying to not be WWE, so they are handling things differently. But I still wonder if that's a good move to let your talent still book independent shows.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, they're still independent contractors, so they can do whatever they want. But it comes down to being smart, the human being smart. I don't think the business or your boss should tell you really anything with your independent contractor. I believe that you should have enough brains and enough knowledge knowing what's the safe and most responsible thing to do to provide for my family and to keep other people safe and keep my job security locked down. And what is more important? That's something that these kids need to sit back and actually think about.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree. It's crazy. It's still crazy too, because like some places it's even surprising they're still running indie shows. I know there was a few.
I got a show tomorrow, and it's sold out.
Yeah, well, and I went to the one that your girl was at up here in my neck of the woods, and I mean, again, a lot of people, but not too crowded, whatever. But the thing now here, though. And I get you guys are a different animal down there compared to what we're dealing with up here as far as how things are being handled. But now we can't do shows outside because obviously we got snow now. So like everything has to be inside. So now like stuff in Wisconsin is just getting shut down, shows and stuff again. The shows they were doing up here have all gotten canceled in Minnesota.
Well, our shows for ARW, we're pretty safe. We do social distancing. We do, the seats are perfectly spread out. The people that collect the money in front have masks. All the security, all the ushers have masks on and gloves on. We do, because we're also in a Holiday Inn banquet center. So we also have to follow the rules and guidelines of them. So, we're following 2 different COVID-19 rules, which is a good thing. So we're being double safe.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody watches the ARW shows on YouTube, their weekly show that they put on there too, you can see it because that stuff recent, so you can see how safe they're being. And again, like I said, the one show I went to, I felt very safe. It's just crazy that like we're in the Midwest, it's cold and flu season, so like we're a hot button now. Hot spot, which is funny. I read today that down there in Florida, they're investigating the Performance Center. What was it? The Performance Center, Full Sail, and the Amway as potential hotbeds for the virus.
No one's been there but WWE.
Right, but they're going to investigate. They think they may be hotspots down there.
So if they investigate, what do you mean they're just going to spray down the building?
Yeah, I don't even know. That's just it. I don't know what that means.
In that building, they have it all rented out to themselves.
Right. So, but they're saying that.
Done.
What's that?
Their contract's coming up soon.
Yeah, I think they extended it through November now.
Oh, okay. But no one else is there but them. So, okay, if that's a hot spot. It's not like you can't walk. It's not like you're going to walk by the building and get COVID.
Right. But I think you got to read between the lines. I don't think it's necessarily they're trying to say that the Amway Center. I think
it's right downtown. The Amway Center is right downtown.
Yeah, no, what I think they're trying to say is that just WWE is a hotbed because they've had so many outbreaks within their company lately. I think
that they allow people to do whatever they want, and then they try to. I mean, they try to tell their talent they can't go do anything, but their talent's like, okay, I can't do TikTok, I can't do all this other stuff. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go do something. You're not just gonna keep me locked in my house and have me do nothing and just show up to TV where I'm not paying any tax. I'm getting ripped off by the government because I'm an independent contractor, and you're having me. I have no write-offs now. I have no travel, no nothing, and you just want me to sit at home and just watch TV? You gotta be out of your mind, especially if you have a family, kids, a wife. They're gonna go want to do something. Not everyone can just live in a cave.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like, hey, keep coming to these shows, even though we're not really enforcing things like we should. But you sit at home and shake your butt for 2 minutes on an app and get paid for it. Like, don't do that. That's against our rules.
You see, they get in trouble. A couple of guys got in trouble for going like Universal Studios and stuff. But then yeah, but you see Braun Strowman at a biker fest and stuff, and
Right.
being all supportive, but you don't see him get in trouble.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they have this. WWE has different rules for different people.
Yeah.
And that's always how it's gonna be. Some guys can get away with everything, some guys can't. And some guys they'll tell them they can't do everything. Some guys they'll let them go do any festival party, do whatever they want, and they're not going to say one thing. It's such a, it's such a double edge of a sword, that company. And one day someone's going to investigate that place, and they're gonna they're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna find some skeletons.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, it's interesting to see that that it actually got like some politicians' attention this year, specifically when it was the whole, hey, you can't make money doing Twitch. That's our money now.
Not
Like,
just Twitch though.
I
They're
mean everything. I just say
they're trying to stop people for having independent businesses.
yeah.
I mean, that is just insane. So that'd be like Vince, you can't have no other business. That's not fair. Triple H, you can't have no other business. Shane, man, you shouldn't be able to have no other business. If you're going to tell these talent that are independent contractors get no insurance from you, doesn't get no benefits, doesn't get no 401k, doesn't get no union, doesn't get none of that stuff, and you're going to sit here and tell them that they can't start another business. So when wrestling ends, which, you know what? I hate to say it, guys, but wrestling is going to end. I mean, not like wrestling as in, the art form, but the performers. There's an age limit. There's going to become a time where you can't physically do it anymore. Your body is in so much pain, you just can't do it. I mean, and then the other thing is left is you're going to be an agent. And if you're an agent, you're still stuck on the road. You're still gone away from your family. There's really not, I hate to say it, but there's really no more avenues unless you become an actor. But when you really look at the grand scheme of things, how many wrestlers are truly able to do that acting career? I mean, God bless, I love Wade Barrett. He's one of my good friends. He tried to do the acting gig, and guess what? Guess where he's back at?
NXT. And on commentary.
He told me right now he would never go back to wrestling. And you tell you the reason why he went back to wrestling? Because acting was not working out. I love Wade Barrett. He's one of my best friends. But I hate to say it, there's only so many people that are gifted in that talent that are able to pull that off and actually make a full-time career out of it. I mean, you got to look at it right now. John Cena's doing retarded commercials. He's not even doing movies. He's doing commercials where he's riding a horse and singing one line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and like you said, it's a weird double-edged sword because like Randy Orton just launched his own clothing line recently, like in the last couple of weeks.
And WWE has no part of that.
Right. But then if like EC3 was still there and had his t-shirt company going, they'd probably be like,
we had that with Braun Strowman. So
yeah.
So Braun and him are safe because Braun ain't gonna give WWE that.
Yeah. Well, he has nothing else to do. What's he gonna do? I like Braun, but I mean, he's a big guy. He go shoot guns and stuff, teach people like that in shooting ranges, I guess.
Well, what's he gonna do if he got released?
Yeah.
He would go to AEW and New Japan. They pay him big money.
Yeah. But I mean, he's always going to be a wrestling, like a star guy because he's got the look and size. You know what I mean?
I'm saying WWE won't fire him and say, hey, I'm not going to let you do your t-shirt company. He's going to be like, no, I'm going to have my other t-shirt company under my name, Adam. So you can't take that from me.
Right.
Not Braun Strowman Cove, and it's under his Adam. It's not even his. It's like meat something.
Yeah. No, it's funny though because if you're further down that totem pole and you try to do something on your own, I'm sure they're gonna be like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" And that's the one thing that like I do like for AEW. It's like, their people, have their own shop, but they also work with Pro Wrestling Tees, which then also still lets the talent have their own shop. So I mean, like, that's the one nice thing. But I mean, there's good things for both sides, but I mean, it's just that's again craziness that you're gonna say, hey, you can't have a YouTube channel by your actual birth name without letting us run it and get the cut. Like that is wow. It's so crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you couldn't, like, where do they draw the line? What do they say you can and cannot do? And you're an independent contractor. I mean, I understand. Don't get me wrong. If you're a full employee, 100%, that's totally wrong. Don't do it. You have health insurance. Your family's covered in health insurance. Don't have to worry about making extra cash. You got a 401k to look for retirement. Hey, I get it. No worries, man. Let it fly, dude. Like, don't do any of that. But if you're an independent contractor and by law, man, how else are you going to pay for health insurance? You think health insurance for a professional wrestler is cheap?
All right.
Let's look at that. How big of a liability do you think you are to the insurance company?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you're paying out of pocket for everything. They're going to just tell you have pre-existing and can't qualify just because they know you're going to be getting hurt.
Oh, not even that. But how about someone that's like me? I got 5 knee surgeries already. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how many on each leg?
Let's see. 3 on one and 2 on the other. 3 on the left and 2 on the right.
That's crazy. And so was that out of pocket for you then?
Insurance, but I still had to pay like $50,000.
Yeah.
Only one that I didn't fully have to pay for was the when I got hurt in WWE. They paid.
You remember that FCW?
Yeah, FCW. That's when they paid for everything.
Nice. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's a crazy life that you guys are forced to live as professional wrestlers. You know, you're putting your bodies on the line every night. There's real no easy way to take care of it financially if something ever were to happen that hurt you. So
no, and most indie wrestlers are like me, are living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's a crazy life that you guys have to live. Man, it is. But so let me ask you this, man, because you've seen a lot of this industry your whole life. So do you see a changing in the tides as far as taking care of the talent down the line? Do you think someday there may be a union for the talent so they can be taken care of? Do you see it ever happening?
I think AEW is doing a good job. I think AEW is really, setting the benchmark, and I believe that they are working on getting the guys insurance, and I believe that that's something that is really stressed upon. And I kind of think that, to be honest with you, we shouldn't even have to form our own wrestling union. I believe that we should fall under the actors union.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, we're on TV. We do interviews, we speak, we sell commercials, we do everything that regular, like TV show does. But I believe that we should go into the actors union. I don't believe wrestlers should have their own union. I think we should have fall into the entertainment. Yes, we are real wrestlers and we do sports, but yet I believe that I would like our own wrestling union, but I think the stability and the opportunity to be in the actors union would give the guys after their career more of a shot to be in movies, more, because no knock on football players or any of that, but we have more of an opportunity to go into acting than, let's say, an NFL player. Because yes, they have the NFL union, but those guys are not talking every single day. Those guys are not cutting promos. Those guys are not selling characters or being characters. So I believe that we're more in the acting, because then that way we're able to get more roles. We're able to actually broadcasting commercials and them able to find roles that would fit our character and who we are as a person. You know, the big jacked up guy or the smarty heel or the manager or just little things like that. I mean, really, that's where I believe we should belong.
You know, especially because I didn't realize this till years ago, but I remember when I realized it, it was like, huh, that makes sense. People tend to not realize like how many people in the professional wrestling industry have or do also stunt work for films.
Stunt work and just commercials. Some of the wrestlers are really good at promos. Yeah. Some of the wrestlers are really good at just talking and selling stuff, whether it's fitness outfits, whether it's modeling, who knows. You know, the outlook and talent is crazy. Like one of my good friends, Mason Ryan, he was in WWE for a little bit, and then he was in FCW with me. They released him, and Circus Olay called, and they were like, "Hey, we're looking for this just freak of a guy. I mean, this guy is 6'5", 310 pounds, and not an ounce of fat on him."
I remember walking by him in Miami.
He is just.
He was. I walked by him in Miami during Mania week, and he was with a girl who was probably my height, obviously skinnier, but like my height, probably 5'5", 5'6". She looked like a midget next to him.
You would break your finger if you tried to just touch him.
Oh, dude is just massive.
Yeah, and he's clean. And so, you know, luckily WWE was nice, and they said, well, we just released this guy that would fit perfectly, and now he's at Circus Olay. You know, one of the guys that pick up the girls and do all the crazy stuff and hold the girl with like one hand and she smiles. Yeah.
Where is he?
Had people there.
Is he in like Vegas or?
Vegas, yes. I don't know at the moment right now if they're still due to COVID, but I know last time I talked to him, he was, you know, fully involved in that.
Wow. We should see if he'd come on here. That'd be an interesting conversation.
Guarantee you would.
Oh, that would be I'd have some questions about the transition from wrestling into the Circus du Soleil lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like different animals, but still the same. That's sick. That would be
holding three girls up with one hand, just like this. And
that old Andre the Giant photo.
Yeah, and he's like 6'5" too, so he's huge. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun. We'll have to see if we can get him on here. That's crazy. Yeah, I agreed though. I 100% agree with you. You guys are just as much entertainment and entertainers as any person on a movie screen or a TV screen in a sitcom or anything. And I was just gonna say, to take it a step further, you guys are doing it live. There's no, all right, ready for the scene, action, cut. There's no, oh, it didn't work out, let's try it again. Like, you guys are doing it live and live on TV and live in normal times in front of thousands of people. So again, yeah, times millions. So it's man, yeah, I definitely agree with you 100%. So it would be nice to see that happen. It'd be nice to see someone work to make that happen. So hopefully we see that in the future. But yeah, otherwise though, moving on from that, I don't even know where to go from that, because I was very interested in that conversation.
Me too. That was a conversation.
Well, you and I have never had that talk, and I've always wondered that. And it's been talk that's been going on for years. What was it back in the day? They had the didn't they try back in the day? I think during territory time or shortly after. It
was the guy that was going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he ended up quitting. Because Vince is like, why? And he's like, well, I'm about to get union. I'm about to and people don't understand about the union. And here's the thing is, that helps protect your family. Mm-hmm. And okay, guys, like, we're young. Well, some of us are young. I'm old. But, you know, it helps in the future when you do start having kids. And, you know, if, Lord forbid, something happens to you, that helps protect them and make sure that they get a paycheck, make sure that they're healthy, make sure that they're able to, you know, go to the dentist, you know, go to the doctor and get their medicine. And that, you know, that's really important in the world. I mean, our youth is what it's gonna run the world. So not having them be healthy and not being able, because Lord forbid something happens to you. You know, you want some type of thing, knowing in the back of your head, hey, they're safe. But as an independent contractor, the only way you can do that is if you get a financial advisor that tries to set up a retirement for you, because you don't get no 401k.
Right. Yeah. It's very important that the talent's taken care of. For, like you said, them and their
More
families.
important, not just the talent's family.
Yeah. Like I said, for them and their families, it helps keep them safe for the future. Because, like you said too, unless you like can get with it and get yourself involved in some other avenues of business and have it set up so when you're done, you're good to go. If you don't do that, then yeah, you're then left with like, oh well, that part of my life's done. What do I do now?
Conventions the rest of your life.
Yeah, and like and here's the deal. I've gone to those conventions. I've been at them. I've been in them. Not like signing autographs, but I've been at them, uh, representing different companies, and none of that looks fun. I mean, I enjoy getting the chance to meet my.
Let me get your honest opinion. How many times is it kind of sad?
Oh, yeah, man. When you walk by and you see some of the old timers and no one's at their table, they're just sitting there, and it's just like, yeah, you feel bad because it's like. But the other thing too is you feel bad, but then it's like I understand because I'm in that same boat. Like I'd love to go give them some money, but money for me in my life is tight. I'm not making big banks. So knowing that I got to spend 50, $60 because I really want to meet this one, though, it doesn't allow me to have that extra $30 to do this person. And it is sad. I always wish that there was a convention, and I know it will never happen because, again, at these things, it's kind of like you got to, and I guess I don't. So when you get brought in, like, how does it? I know like companies bring talent in to sit at their booth, stuff like that. Um, do you guys ever have to pay for your own way to be in these conventions though? Or do they come to you? I know you don't. And I know, we're friends, so I know that you're not a guy who does them, but you're in the business, everybody. So, I mean, have you heard people talk about it and be like,
Hell yeah, man. People pay to be on there and stuff like that. People pay for a thing. I don't do none of that.
see, that's what's weird.
You better pay me to be there, or I ain't showing up. Straight
Right.
up, like I'm not paying you to sit at a booth to sign autographs, man. You can suck it. Nah, I ain't like that. Like, I'd rather go dig a ditch outside than do that, to be honest with you. I got morals and I got respect, and I earned my respect in professional wrestling. And if you ain't willing to pay for it, then I don't even want to be there.
Well, that and the whole point is being there is you're making money because people are paying for photos and autographs and merch. But you don't want to come into it being like, oh, well, I paid $300 to have this table today, so I need to really sell. Like that sucks. Whoever's running the
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
whoever's running the event, they should always be like, hey, we'll pay you to be here, like, whatever. But no, so again, getting back to what we were saying though, yeah, it is sad.
I've done meet and greets, and the way I've done it, where I come up with a flat rate, and then I'll split what I do in pictures and autographs.
Okay.
You know, sometimes they're like, "Oh, you can just keep the money, your pictures and autographs." Well, I go, I don't know how good you advertised. I don't know how good what you did. So no matter what, I want a flat rate. I want this amount of money, and then I want half of what I. If you're cool with that, I'll
Right.
show up and do your thing.
Right. Exactly. And
You're promoting, and your thing is up to you. It's not up to me. Like if you didn't promote the event and people didn't come, it's not my fault. I'll do all day long and post it on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. But if you didn't show up, it's your advertisement fault. It's not my fault.
dude, I dealt with something like that once when I was in radio. We had to give tickets away to a concert, and I think it was like Lita Ford, like old time rock and roll chick, and she was doing an acoustic show at a bar in town. Like tickets weren't selling, and they're doing what they are with the radio station. We're pumping it up, but like just nobody wants to see Lita Ford acoustically. Like it's just not a concert that people are really interested in. So like I got in trouble at the radio station, or I didn't get in trouble, but I kind of did because I stopped working on the rock station after this happened, and I think this had something to do with it. even though they wouldn't tell me. But nobody called in to win the free tickets to the show.
And they blamed it on you.
So, I think
you weren't selling it correctly. You weren't reaching for that goal.
Right, which is bullshit, because the other two DJs who gave tickets away, I sounded 100 times better on air. Like, they were boring as shit. We were an active rock station, so we're supposed to be like the new, like, we're playing Slipknot, like headbanging, and these guys, this guy and girl are on there just like, oh yeah, like treated like it was a classic rock station, and it was boring. And so I was trying to liven it up, and I was having fun, and I had fans. So, you know, they can tell me that I wasn't good on there, but I had fans. And then the whole cluster of the station's manager was like, dude, you sound great on that station. I don't know why he wants to take you off. Well, because, you know, I don't know. You're the boss. Tell him not to. And he wouldn't. So anyways, but it was just so funny because in my head, I'm just like, how am I responsible for no one wanting to call and win tickets to a shitty concert? Sorry, Lita Ford, but your time with 30 years ago, it was on an off night. It was like a Tuesday, Wednesday night at like 8, 9. Like, it was just a show that it's like, this should have never just even been booked. You're not going to sell tickets, let alone no one's going to call and I gave I had 3 total concerts I gave tickets out, and they were better. Like, one was like Godsmack, and the other one was
the person that called and was like, man, I really want the Godsmack t-shirt tickets, and then they get the acoustic version of
right. Oh, dude, it was crazy.
You're like, I hate Big Ace.
Right, yeah, that's
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I was really excited. I loved the program. How we talked about it earlier. Usos and Roman.
Yeah.
And I loved how it ended. I loved how. What do you think of them just throwing it back out there with now it's I Quit match after Roman already beat the living crap out of them?
And it's in Hell in the Cell, isn't it? It's in a Hell in the Cell.
Yeah. So where do they think that Jay is going to have, or is it Jimmy or Jay?
I think it's Jay who's in.
Jay. How do they think Jay is going to have any chance of winning after he just got demolished on like, oh, the booking is driving me crazy. That was such a good program. They did so good. Maybe if they would have had Jay like almost win, and then they did that, then yes, I would buy all day long. But now, how do you buy this match, Ace? Tell me.
Plus, it's the ultimate Barry when at the end of that match you made him say you're the chief to Roman.
So,
like,
that's basically said he quit. So now they're gonna have an I quit.
I think. I hope Jimmy comes back, gets involved. It would be a good time for him to return. I don't quite remember why he was out. I think it's injury, and I don't remember.
They return and both get their butt quit. They're not going to let Roman just go.
Well, and that's just it. Roman's still going to come on top.
Yeah, so they're going to bury both of them.
Yeah, and this whole chief of the family and all that. I mean, like, really, this has to be just a big setup with them having hopes of Rock's going to come do Mania with Roman. It has to be. Because why else are people going to get invested in this storyline of I'm the chief of our family when it's like, well, yeah, obviously you've been pushed to the moon, and the Usos have always just been the Usos. They're a great tag team. They've been champs a few times, but you've been pushed as a superstar. They're the Usos. So again, what? Yeah, obviously you would have the head of the table in this weird family table between the three of you.
And the Usos started first, and the Usos.
Right, but I mean, at the end, it's like, it sounds like they're going to eventually just get the family in, because then it's like, do you bring Nia Jackson since she's like a distant relative as well? And then again, like I said, it really feels like this all is just trying to lead into Roman Reigns versus Rock at Mania, and Rock coming back and being like, no. Oh, I haven't been here, but I'm not.
Rock's not even related to Roman.
Right, but they claim that they all are like somehow distant cousins. Right, but storyline they do. So like,
yes, but physically, genetically, no. One's from Samoa. They're two different islands.
Right, but like Do you think that's what they're leading up to? Because I mean, why else are you playing up the family storyline?
Of course, it's Roman against Rock, and they're going to make it seem like Roman beat up all the family members, and now he has to go through the
So
Rock.
here's a good question though, because if times were normal, I'd be like, it's not going to happen. It's The Rock. The dude's always filming something. There's no way he's getting cleared to wrestle.
He already has. For WrestleMania, it's already done. He can do whatever he wants. He owns his own production company.
Well, and in that case, now he can. But the other thing too, though,
fly there, fly in, fly out.
because I know, like I think one of the Fast and the Furious movies like was months delayed because he got hurt at 29. So I know after that he had some issues, like he couldn't do shows because it was now they're not going to insure the movie if I wrestle. But like you said, he has his own production company now, so they're doing it. So I mean, but the other thing too is just in the times we're at, they haven't been able to film. So I mean, if this is what's going on, come down there, wouldn't it be a logical thing for him to take a big payday and do Mania?
He's gonna do Mania.
You think he will? Because I think if things were normal, I don't think he would. I think he'd be too busy.
No, he's doing it anyways. I think he's doing it just to push Roman for a big acting career.
Yeah, whatever, I guess. I don't know. I mean, out of all the talent I've seen on the last few weeks of like Raw programming or SmackDown programming out of WWE, the only one that's done anything on screen that made me be like, this person can maybe relay this into TV or movie acting, and that was Alexa Bliss this week on Raw.
Yeah. Roman would do good in action movies.
I think he'd be all right. You know, I will say this.
I think he'll be better than Van Diesel.
Yeah, I mean, puppets are better than Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
You know what he was in? Did you see the movie called The Wrong Missy? It's a David Spade movie. It's a Netflix one, came out this last year.
Roman's in it?
The first like 15 minutes of the movie is like a first date scene at a restaurant. And yeah, it's Roman and some girl like on a date, and David Spade, like, you got to watch it to get it, but he's actually pretty funny, like talking smack to David Spade in the beginning of this movie. And it was like, oh, okay. All right. So, I mean, and yeah, and he has a great look. So, and I guess that looks in style. Look at The Rock making it. So,
well, not just The Rock, the guy that did that Marvel movie, the underwater guy.
Oh, shit. Yeah. The Momoa guy, the Mimosa guy. That dude. Yeah. Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Yeah, man.
He's a big Samoan, 6'2", 6'3".
You ever try to break into some movies?
I've done a couple of acting. I've done like 3 or 4 commercials.
No shit.
Yeah, I did a credit card commercial. I did a restaurant commercial. Did a gym commercial, and then I did a sunglass commercial.
Hell yeah! Can we find those anywhere?
Oh.
I'm gonna research this week now, just so when we do our next episode, I'm gonna be like, ha!
The credit card one was the funniest. I got beat up by an old lady.
Oh hell yeah! I bet you sold the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's to protect your credit when no one's looking.
That's great. Right on, man. Well, I think we should end the podcast with. Did we want to make a little announcement that we kind of talked about before we went on today?
Totally forgot what it was, but sure.
I love it. This is how it always is. See, that's the thing, guys. We haven't been on for a few weeks, but like I was saying when we started the show, that doesn't mean we haven't been talking. Like, you and I talk regularly, weekly, and that's usually how our conversations are on the phone. Is it like, hey,
we talk more than weekly. We talk like almost every day.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's always like, hey man, what was that thing we were talking about the other day on the? I don't remember. I don't know. Like,
I know what we're doing. We want to come up with a new Brisco and Big Ace logo for the show. So we want to do a little contest with our Brisco and Big Ace Army and see if they can come up with some cool designs. And whatever designs you come up with, and whichever one we pick the winner, of course, we'll send you some signed autograph 8x10s and some other goodies. But that's the little challenge we're going to throw out there.
Yeah, guys, we want to get some merch going eventually for our show, and we'd like to have some options. So we're looking for a few different renditions of our logo. So, yeah, if you have an idea or you have something that you want to submit, send it to us. Just follow us on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram at Brisco and Big A Show. You can find all our social media there, YouTube as well, Twitch as well too. So yeah, send it to us on there. And yeah, if we get something that we really like and we want to use, we'll let you know. You'll be a winner. We'll show everybody on the show. And it'll be a very cool thing. We're excited. We want to have you guys. We want to have the Brisco and Big Ace Army wearing our stuff.
Yeah, and the way to submit it is either you can go to the Brisco and Big Ace Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, leave a message, or you can go direct message to Wes Brisco 19 on Instagram and Twitter, or you can go to David's Instagram or Twitter and check him out.
Which, if anybody's listening, that's the first time I think we've ever used my real name on the show. That was awesome. That was great.
Yeah, I know his real name and last name, but I can't pronounce it.
No, but it's just nobody can, dude. You should. My whole life, nobody can say my last name. Oh, dude. And for a while, I did have the nickname Weenie in school because it rhymes with your last name. Anyways, so yeah, the logo contest, we're going to get that going. We'll give you guys a good few weeks to do this. So we'll remind you on the next episode as well. But the other exciting thing is we've always been that guerrilla radio type podcast. Watch our social media and you'll know when we go live next. Well, we want to really do more for you guys. So we're going to change it up a little bit. We're not going to do anything like weekly or anything, but we've decided that we will do a bi-weekly show. So we will do
every Thursday.
We'll put an episode out every Thursday.
A week?
Every other Thursday, sorry.
Every other Thursday, we will have an episode up.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have more details coming as well as time and stuff once we work that out. But yeah, every other Thursday, you will see a Brisco Big Ace episode drop. For the most part, they will be live shows. Mm-hmm. There may be times where we may have to do some pre-recording guest-wise, or just if we have a busy week, because we're freaking busy guys. So, but yeah, we thought we'd do that for you guys. So you have something to look forward to a little bit more, and you kind of know when we're coming with episodes. In case you don't have time to look day of, you just remember now. So, yeah, man, I'm excited.
I also just dropped my Brisco Investments Instagram page and Twitter page. Brisco Investments is a company that we do sports agency. We get people movie roles, commercial roles. We help with contracts with any type of wrestling, with AEW, WWE. We help you get signed with them. We have a lot of different avenues. We also do real estate, buying houses, flipping houses, buying rental properties. Brisco Investments is pretty much just a big company that if you want to invest, make some money, or if you're a talent and want to be represented in the right way, we have the right lawyers, we have the right team, the right management to get you movie roles, to get you looked at for WWE, to get AEW to look at you. And then most importantly, we will go over your contracts and make sure that the contracts will fit for you. So the companies are not taking advantage of you, because sometimes contracts can get a little iffy. Let's say you live in Florida and the company you work for is in Florida and you're driving to your TV tapings every week, but yet other people are flying. You should get compensated for your driving. You should get compensated for your wear and tear on your car. But most wrestlers don't understand that and don't get that. That's where Brisco Investments come in, and we will help you out. We will walk you through, because we've been there. My dad is the CEO of the company. My dad has been there. I have been there. We're looking out for your best interest and making sure that you get the best deal on your contract, where both partners are happy and both deals come out good. And two, if you're looking at buying a house, or if you want me to help you find a house for an investment, for a rental property, or whatever, we take care of it all.
There you go. Check it out. Brisco Investments. You're going to hear a lot more about that in the future. So, guys, make sure you check them out online and follow them. And while we're at it, too, make sure you follow Papa Brisco on all his social medias and stuff. Another great tweet.
Well, right now, he's if you guys want to send him his get well wishes, he's recovering from Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I see Randy, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him for what he did to my dad.
Randall Orton, what is going on? Why you got to be beating up on all these legends and Papa Briscoe like that? It's not cool. I seen the neck brace. Not cool, bro. Not cool. So, but show him love online and get those cameos from Papa Briscoe. He'll do whatever you want on those cameos, and they're pretty great. So.
If you want to do, if you want a cameo, it has to come from Briscoe and Big Ace. I don't do any of them by myself. I just not gonna do it. Sorry, guys, but I'll do one with Briscoe and Big Ace. So if you want to see Briscoe and Big Ace give you guys a cameo, let me know, and I'll set up a cameo account. But I hate to say it, guys, I'm not doing no personal shout-outs. I'm not doing none of that stuff. If you want to follow our YouTube channel, I'll give you shout-outs on our YouTube channel and our comments on that. Other than that, I'm not taking your money, but me and Big Ace will as a group, because that's just going to go towards our show, and money that you guys want from a cameo from me and Big Ace would only go to money to make our show better. That's the only way I'm doing it. I'm not doing it any other way.
Yeah, and for now, we probably will stay off Cameo because we are hopefully going to be launching this Patreon in the coming weeks or month here. So we're just working all of our fine details out. So when it's launched, we can give you guys everything you deserve who join our Patreon. So look for that in the near future. And again, we're going bi-weekly, baby. So no episode next week. See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, every other Thursday.
That's right. So, yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Real quick, though, do you have any shows coming up that you want to promote for the next 2 weeks?
Tomorrow night, I will be at Atomic. Cocoa Beach. We're already sold out. Can't buy tickets, but you can watch our YouTube channel. We put up previous matches. Other than that, follow Briscoe Investments. Watch Red Velvet on AEW. Give her support and love. Please watch my dad. Give him some good well wishes. And Briscoe big announcements are coming soon. And follow Big Ace. Watch his podcast on Tuesday nights with the comedian where he gets nerdy. And please just give us a like, give us a comment, share our page, share our stuff. Big shout out to the VOC for always giving us the audio. This big shout out to everyone that supports us and loves us. I know we're bootleg, but that's just the way we do it.
Hell yeah. And like I said, we're going to get away from bootleg. We're going bi-weekly. So 2 weeks, we'll see you. Again, you can join me Tuesday nights with comedian John Russell, the 2 count, the number 2, COUNT. Find us on YouTube and all that stuff. And a real shout out again. You did say Red Velvet. Shout out to her first big win with AEW last week. That was huge. It was great to see as well. So congrats to her. Hell yeah. Mixing it up. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. All right. And maybe we'll have another cool announcement for you in 2 weeks about other cool things we're going to be doing with the Briscoe and Big Ace show. So we will see you all then. Be good and love everyone.